Sorry, I wasn't streaming pala. Now we are. Yeah, you said. I already received the notification. Have you? I've received. Yeah, I've received both. Yeah, everyone can hear us already. Yeah, hi everyone. What else is here? Okay, the chat is quiet. Still quiet. Oh. Uh, yeah, I didn't. I didn't. Sorry. I've been in sort of relaxed mode because of the Wednesday project. Yeah, that kind of took the rest of the week some energy away. Go ahead. No, huh? No, it's 1 minute 35 for me because there's a delay there. Careful. I got shocked with the amount of news last night. So for those of you that are tuned in, get ready. Miko isn't. 1 minute. In addition to our usual. Hmm. How sad naman the music? I don't know. It says downtime. Well, it does sound like downtime. Okay, 20 seconds. Let's do this. Hello, everyone. What's up? Hey, Marco. Yeah, so Marco had to tap out earlier because he's having some internet connectivity issues right now. In fact, earlier, Miko and I lost electricity, so we almost didn't have a show. So yeah, we're lucky. Well, I'm not as ready as I'm supposed to be. But yeah, I think there's so much news that it's gonna carry on, and for I hope for Miko's sake it doesn't carry on. Gaming, yeah. It's up to you. I'll follow your lead. Hang on. So, so are we starting show and tell? Okay. Oh, what happened? It's not there. Okay, I'm just gonna add it. Go continue and talk. Sorry. Sorry. Did you hear that? You didn't hear anything? Okay, so I thought my desktop audio was on. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. That's pretty powerful, huh? That's that's a lot. Yeah, Miko, that's a lot. 2060. Is this a is it a super or no? Not a mobile. Is it confirmed that it's not a mobile GPU? Yeah. Yeah. So that's similar to many small form factor PCs, right? I mean, if you put a really hot component, whether it be a CPU or a GPU, and you don't have good enough airflow, you really suffer. It throttles, it slows down everything. I mean, it may be able to do certain benchmarks well when you open the case because it's free. The air is free to come in and go out, right? But the moment you close the panel, all of a sudden it just throttles like crazy. So I do understand that, and in fact, all MacBook Pros suffer this. Um, even the latest 16-inch MacBook Pro, which doesn't cost cheap, it does throttle. It can't compare to a similarly spec PC with good airflow. It's just physically not possible. I do have wait, hang on. I do have a solution for that though. So for those people that have a relatively new um, laptop and they want the best of both worlds, right? They want something that's really portable because normally when you buy a laptop, you want to be able to bring it everywhere, right? And it really sucks when you buy a thick, heavy laptop because then you don't feel like bringing it anywhere. So yeah, yes, it does, and I guess to most people it does. So the way to get through this, at least um, in my knowledge, is you buy an external GPU, which is now very common, but not a lot of people know it. Maybe people who watch this do know it because if you're watching this, you're most probably someone who likes to read up on tech. But just in case there's someone there out there who's looking for a solution and doesn't know this, you can buy a normal laptop with a. Normally, it's you're gonna need a laptop with a Thunderbolt 3 port, and then so for example, Miko, your MacBook Pro 13-inch can use this. So basically, it's an external case that fits in a normal graphics card. So you can put any graphics card that you can afford. So if you want to put like similar to Marco's graphics card, which is currently the best consumer graphics card, the 2080 Ti, you can. Then all yeah, currently. Not you. You won't use it. Don will be so happy though. Yeah. So anyway, sorry, Marco. I mean Ken. Yeah. Yes, it's that's true. That yeah, definitely not. It's about 20 grand for the case. It's just the enclosure, right? And then the GPU, like for example, if you get something like Marcos, that would be about 70,000 pesos. So that would be a total of about 90,000 pesos. Yep.
The mouse pad's not as good, or trackpad. Maybe now it's time to come back because the Dell looks really strong, and the mouse pad trackpad is looking pretty solid. It's nice and all. My next point on this is I kind of wish that they went a bit more extreme with the design. It looks a lot like the last gen. It's completely new. Everything's new. New screen, new mouse pad, new internals, everything. They've ditched the old USB ports, but it looks too similar. Miguel, you've seen the screen, yeah, the videos, the screenshots, all that. It looks, I feel, too similar.
Well, yes, it is. Hang on. Let me just say something. I
Yeah.
just I don't know if anyone noticed I was looking everywhere else except straight. That was
Mm-hmm.
because I saw YouTube and apparently your voices weren't being heard. So I
Oh
had to
Oh
shit.
fix that.
no!
Yeah, I
Oh
had to fix that.
no! Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I messed up because a few days ago I had a project and I had to reroute all my audio so that I was able to speak with the talent without it reaching the audience because, well, basically I was directing her. We were directing her from all the way from the Philippines when she was doing her thing in Tokyo. So yeah, and I forgot to undo that. So sorry. Anyway, we're back.
Sorry.
Uh, the last thing I really was listening to, Ken, was the trackpad, right?
Yes, I knew you're gonna latch onto that.
Yeah. The I've always been a fan of Apple's Magic Trackpad. I mean, I don't know if you call it the Magic Trackpad on the MacBook Pro or the MacBooks, but whatever they're called, right? I really really like it because of the way it negates the accidental hits. You know, when you, unlike many or most of the PC laptops I've tried, you know, one mistake, if you hit the right edge, all of a sudden your screen goes scrolling, right? Um,
Oh,
and
okay.
that's been an issue for me for quite a while because I guess I got used to using a Mac laptop for almost forever, right? My first um, Power Mac, Power Book. My first Power Book was in 2002 or 2003. Yeah. So from then all the way to 2014, which was my very last MacBook Pro, I was just using all Macs. And yeah, so anyway, every time I see Ken and have a go at his laptop, that was a 13-inch, right? Ken?
The XPS I had when
Yeah,
I
the
was in the
XPS.
studio. No, that was a
Yes.
15. The
That
first one
was
I had. Yeah.
15. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I'd always get confused with the trackpad pad, not only because of the scrolling, but
That was
it
close to when Apple switched the whole
yes,
direction of the
exactly.
scrolling,
Yes,
which now makes
exactly.
more way more sense. And I remember I hated it at the time, but now it's
Exactly.
like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you could just imagine how used to it I was. And that's why every time I touch any other laptop, it would be so confusing. It's like everything's upside down. But then I do get you when for example I attach a mouse. It feels upside down with a mouse because you scroll up to push the the content up, which doesn't feel correct to me.
How I always explain it to people who get confused when they try the sort of new quote unquote way of scrolling with trackpads is like, imagine it's a phone screen. When you imagine that the trackpad is a phone screen and you're trying to scroll through
Yes,
news, for example, you're gonna move it this way, and it's exactly the same as, I think that's, yeah, basically the
correct.
approach that Apple took. And then what you see it when you talk to them, to the random people who don't know or are confused about the new way. Well, I say new, but it's like, 7 8 years old now, but it clicks and they're like, oh yeah, now it makes sense. So that's what they were going for, and it does make sense. And now I cannot, I as a heavy Microsoft and just Windows PC gamer, PC user in general, I cannot get away from that. I can't go back to the old way anymore when it comes to scrolling. So it was a good
Same.
call, and yeah. So that's a big strength of the new
Hang on,
new
hang on.
XPS. Yeah.
Are you saying that current Windows laptops do that as well?
Yes. Well, at least my last one did the same. I haven't had a laptop in a little
It,
bit, but
it,
I think
is
it
that
does.
a Windows thing or is it a hardware thing? Is it a driver
Ooh,
thing? That's my
good
question.
question. I feel like it's probably a like a brand thing.
Oh,
Like
okay.
Dell's would have it, but even if they share the same hardware as another brand, that brand might be driver level. We'll have to actually look into that. Who still
Yeah.
is on the old system? That's an interesting topic.
Yeah.
A little bit more on the what else did I put on there? The pricing. So pricing starts at 65,000 and goes up to starting
What?
price. So that's a 65,000 pesos for
Oh,
the 15-inch.
I thought you were
That's
talking in
converted.
dollars.
No, we're not talking about Nvidia, data centers, which we'll get into later. But it starts at 65 grand for the 15 and 75 for the 17. That's converted from US dollars though. So do expect In the Philippines, it's going to be a bit higher than that, but you are getting a lot of horsepower. Again, the prices will go up, especially if you go for the i9 and all the bells and whistles, the Max Q discrete cards, 64 gigs again, and 2 terabytes of SSD. It will cost a pretty penny, but if you do want a, these are, by the way, these are the laptops that you'd see on like the show like Suits. It's that kind of like sexy machine you'd see on TV shows. That's not an Apple product. So this is the closest you can get
Okay.
to Apple.
And it's cheaper.
Yes, and it's just good hardware, and I can attest to that. I've had two in the past, and I can only imagine this current gen is just going to be better. It has the Max Q. That's a big thing. So hopefully the throttling issues won't be as bad as before. Maybe you can actually use your graphics horsepower rather than have it for 10 seconds before everything gets throttled to this, integrated GPU sort of levels. But yeah, it is again, and it has been as Dell has been doing for the last couple of gens. This is pretty much the laptop, the Windows laptop. If you want a good one,
laptop makers should put an ice cube container somewhere.
Why?
Just cool it down. I'll help you. If you want to play games, put some ice cubes in there.
Hey, speaking of games, there's this world's first blockchain-based digital marketplace for video games. What's that about?
Oh, why don't you talk about it? I'm just kidding.
I have no clue. I have no clue what it is. I'm
Okay.
just reading.
Yeah, so this I got an email from AMD of all companies, right? I got an email from AMD with a link to this thing. It's basically a service like Steam, right? Or the Epic Game Store, or what's Ubisoft's? I forgot the name. Anyway, so it's a game. It's an online game store, but the biggest difference is,
Wait, sorry,
Yeah.
Miguel. Again, you said another game store, and we have so many of them.
Yes,
So
correct.
many of them. Everyone's trying to make money on, and it's the latest thing. And I miss the days when it was just Steam, and now everyone's coming up with their own thing. Origin, Ubisoft, Epic, and then. But to intro your way on why this is something special and something we should look into is your next point.
Yes, this has a blockchain sort of engine behind it. So let me just read what it says here. It says, while you're not using your video card, you can enlist it to mine and be rewarded with iron that can be used to buy games for free. So basically,
Huh?
it's like a crypto. It's mining, right? So you leave your computer on when it's idle. It'll start using your GPU, your graphics card, without as long as you're not needing it when it's idle. And then because of this, it's using some of your electricity. So yeah, you might spend a little bit there, but then that gets converted into credits to buy games. So, if you're the type who leaves your computer on 24/7 anyway, this would be a great way to earn new games. I think it's cool.
That's fantastic. Like I want to see also, like, what I'm curious about is what is the roughly, if you have like say a 1080 and 1070 to 1080, like sort of the average of what people have right now.
Yeah.
If I leave my computer on a whole month and I
How
use
many
it,
games?
let's say 30% of the time, can I at least have one game from that? Because that would be ideal, like one free game a month, just leaving my PC on the whole time.
Yeah. And here's another
It's like
thing, by
another
the way.
form of subscription.
Yes, but
But
here's
not-
another without cash, right? Without paying
Yeah.
actual money. Here's another thing. So, for example, you're able to get the game for free because you left your computer on for maybe a month and get one game. And then you play the game for about another month, right? And then at the end of that month, all the idle time that your computer had gets you another game.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the beauty. You can sell the game you just got. I mean the one that you got the previous month.
Oh,
You can sell it to add to your credits and then get another game. So
another game.
yeah, so it's
That's interesting.
I think the world is turning towards um, Skynet, basically. All of our computers combined will become this really powerful server that can crunch so much data. I don't know what data it will be crunching. For all you know, it will be doing stuff that you know that it shouldn't be doing. But we won't know what that is. I'm gonna check.
Is it safe though?
Well, it should be. I mean, AMD is the one that promoted it, at least to me, on my email. So if AMD is doing that, then I guess it's safe. If they think it's safe, then it must be.
I
That's
like
just
it.
me.
I like that there's a hook to it. It's not just another platform or marketplace, right, Miguel? It's
Yes, yes. So
it's
okay, sorry, I
what
just read it. When you resell it, you get 25% back in iron or real world currency.
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's 25. If it's $25, you get. I gave myself a hard time. So if it's $50, you get $12.50 back.
Hey, that's more than if you're here in North America. Like the big joke is if you sell your game back to GameStop or whatever, you get like literally like $2 off your next game or something. So like a
Hang
flat
on.
rate.
I just thought of something, dude. You can actually make money and not spend anything. Just
But-
leave your game mining. I mean, leave your computer mining.
And just sell your games.
Then sell, whatever. Get
But what's the trade off on your power bill though? If it
That's
really,
what we're gonna find out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, do you
Yeah.
even get to pick the game that you get for
Of course.
free?
Yes, you do. Yeah. Yes, you do. It's like Ken would be very familiar with this. You know, when you buy tokens to send, so that
Here we go again. Here we go again. I don't know what
Okay.
you're talking about, ha?
Yeah, you're very.
I will have a show.
informed.
I'll have a show. I'll have another show tonight. My tag there is Gildre. So search for me. Having said that, like it's good to have a hook. It's good to have this new thing that this platform has that no one else has, and you can get back some of what you're spending on your power bill, and using your computer's horsepower for a bit of financial gain. But at the end of the day, it's the library that has to count. So what's on there, Miguel, that I would want to play?
I have not seen a single AAA game, not one.
What does that mean? What's triple A game?
AAA game would be Assassin's Creed.
The super big titles.
Yeah, with The Witcher
okay.
3.
Okay.
Games that everyone talks about. The ones, they're usually the ones published by the big ones. EA,
Yeah.
Blizzard, those. Oh, here
Okay.
I'm seeing I'm seeing one game here, right here. I don't know if you see it there. That looks interesting. Truck racing. I don't know if it's good.
Really?
That is obscure, and I love truck racing. If no one's ever looked into it, oh my god, please Google YouTube it. Truck racing is the most ridiculous form of racing. If anyone's followed the show, and in the previous years, yeah,
Dude, look at
we had
that.
a
It's so interesting.
truck racing is ridiculously good. It is ridiculously fun looking, and I'm gonna look into this game because truck racing is awesome. It's so
Dude, the
awkward.
graphics are
It's like
the graphics
it,
are good, huh?
it's like elephants having a foot race. It's like why? But okay, I like it.
These are probably yeah, and for those people that don't know these trucks, their engines are huge. In fact, Ferrari started with trucks.
Hey, the graphics are pretty good. I don't know anything,
Lamborghini.
but it looks nice. It looks crisp.
Yeah, Lamborghini started with trucks. So and look at where they are. So these trucks are really powerful. It looks exciting. Anyway, yeah, let's move on. I think for the next one, it has something to do with
Yeah, speaking of racing and
yeah.
stuff on the road, you can carry okay ba yun? You can carry this inflatable electric bike in a backpack. Huh? Uh-huh. So this is, I don't even know how to say it really. Poimo? Poimo?
Whoa.
It's short for
Wait.
portable
So
and inflatable mobility.
but you have to bring the inflator, right?
Yes. So here, I'm gonna talk about it. So this is a prototype inflatable e-bike, and it was created in the University of Tokyo. And yes, it's just like inflating a mattress, whether you use an electric or a manual pump. So obviously, if you use an electric one, it's gonna be faster, but you can use manual pump, so they say. So
No,
it's
thank you.
made exercise. I don't know if you have a lot of time in your hands. So it's made from flexible thermoplastic polyurethane and only needs to be pumped to less than 10 psi. So it's like,
That's
I
pretty
don't
low,
know.
yeah.
Okay.
Ken, we have to put that into context. That is a very bad way. Hang on. I'm gonna put all of our heads here. Okay. That's a very bad way of saying how much you need to pump. You know why? So
Why?
10 psi in a in an Olympic pool sized inflatable thing will take you maybe a week to reach 10 psi. And 10 psi in a tiny little, the thing you put here when you swim, that will take you
Mm-hmm.
maybe one blow to reach 10 psi, one or two or three blows. So that's what I'm saying. Say using psi to say how much you have to blow does not work. It's really dependent on the volume.
I didn't say.
Anyway, let's
It
go
didn't
back.
say, but it says that the final package is a little over 12 pounds. But here's the thing though, this is what I didn't get. So when you inflate it, you're gonna have to install the wheels, the motor, the battery. So to
Hala,
me, you're
video
gonna have to
unavailable.
where? No,
Did
you
they pull
can
it out?
no, it's on YouTube. It's available on YouTube.
Let's
Wait,
try.
I'm just gonna draw my
There you
blinds
go.
really quick. I'll be right
Go
back.
ahead. Okay,
So
so
that's what they're saying. What's good about this is that, well, number one, it's better for the environment, and you don't need to park because you bring it with you. What I don't like about it is it seems like you're gonna have to build it every time. I don't know
so
how long that takes.
Miko, sorry, where does it get its power?
It has a battery,
And where does the battery get charged?
electricity. It's an e-bike.
Yeah, so my question now is why get this versus those scooters that we all like?
Because if you get into an accident, number one, it's cheaper to replace, plus it's a helpful cushion. Huh? You think about that?
So you're basically riding on your what do you call that, Ken? Airbag.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're
It's a
you're
prototype.
pre-protected. Before the crash, the airbag's already out.
Yes. And
So
unlike the usual scooters, if you get into an accident, I'm sure the parts are more expensive. This one, it's cheaper
Ken,
though. So there
Ken,
you go.
Yes.
will you able to pull up how much the M365 Pro is? The weight. I just want to know.
M365.
Yeah. It's I think that's probably the most popular scooter here in the Philippines. Because the ones there are so expensive. They're beautiful though. The boosted boards.
Oh yeah, like driving around, I see so many people with electric, yeah, scooters and just
Dude,
electric everything.
those things are 50,000 pesos. The boosted
And
boards.
again, you don't have to park this. You can just bring it, so you don't need to think of parking.
You
M365 is
don't
14 kilos. Were you asking for the
Wow.
weight?
Oh, this one's
Yeah.
just 12 pounds.
Wow, that's a huge difference. That's
Mm.
Yeah.
about a fourth in weight. Okay, now I get it. Now I get it.
Right?
But I'm never gonna get caught riding one of those. Sorry.
Oy.
Come on, Ken, would you?
Sexy, diba?
I want one. Like, I don't give a shit.
That or the boosted board, or that or the M365 Pro.
I will go with a Tesla Model Y.
Okay, case closed.
What is that? Sounds unreal.
Wait. I just forgot. I was supposed to suggest last night before we started the show. We were talking about the show. I wanted a weekly update on Elon Musk because he's going crazy.
Oh my god.
But totally
Yeah,
forgot to.
Ken and I had
Next
a
week.
no. Ken and I had a short discussion about this in chat. That was a
I bet it
really
wasn't
weird.
short.
It was pretty short, but because I saw a tweet, and Elon basically said that he wanted the state to open his to allow his factory to reopen, right? But
Yeah.
but of course they didn't respond to that. So what he
Mm-hmm.
did later on
Oh
was he
boy.
said, "Okay, we are reopening."
Hmm?
and to the police, if I'm not saying it the exact way he said it, right? So I don't remember, I don't have it in front of me, but basically he said something like, and if you're gonna catch anyone as we open today, please just arrest me. So saying that when you have a newborn at home, it doesn't something's up.
Okay. Yeah.
Something's
Parang
really
he's
up.
not thinking straight, or he's
And
not thinking of all the consequences.
Yeah.
and he's trying to play the working class hero in this instance. Like, I'm solidarity, I'm with you guys, but also he's forcing his thousands of employees to come to work and the pandemic is still bad in the States, especially. And just going against the health-based advisory from your state, I feel is just being tone deaf to what's going on. um I, I get what he's trying to say, like, people got going back a little bit. I never stopped working because of the pandemic, so I'm very grateful that I'm still able to work and make my proper wage. But if the state tells you to shut down because of a pandemic, and then you're there just trying to say, like, no, we're going to be open, and then portray it as a sort of benevolent, brave thing to do, I don't
Robin
agree
Hood.
with that, really. Yeah, I just really don't agree with it. There are experts there who are hired and studied, and they're there to advise if it's safe to actually go out. And if he has resources, if he came out with, like, sources of saying, like, it's safe because of this and this, I paid for this study, I funded this kind of research or whatever to show that there's, if he provided the numbers basically behind his argument, and he has the resources for that, I cannot agree more. But just
No,
saying no,
dude, if he says
F
I have
you,
the
say-
vaccine, or I have a cure, or I have something, then okay, great.
Exactly. That's the next level. If he has something can actually help, but like even just basic numbers that show that it's safe to do so, I'd sort of agree with his argument a bit more, or his stance. But just saying no, I don't agree with this. I'm opening my factory and arrest me if you want. It seems petulant to me, in my opinion,
I agree.
and I don't agree with it without the proper backing of numbers.
And I think Nico's
And
getting
as a
hurt.
Nico, do you need a
Yeah.
Kleenex? Are you okay?
No, I'm okay. I just feel like it's all unreal. And speaking of unreal,
Fantastic.
a first
That-
look at Unreal Engine 5. Take it away, brother.
I feel like for this little bit, we should just watch
Hello,
the
I'm
video.
Brian Karras, Technical Director
Yes,
of
we should.
Graphics
Everything.
Hammer at Epic Games.
It's
I-
really,
I
really
am
good.
John Volume a
Art
bit.
Director of the special project.
A few years ago, we got together as a team and brainstormed where we thought we could push forward state-of-the-art in real-time graphics. There were two key areas that stood out. The first, dynamic global illumination. Beautiful bounce lighting instantaneously.
I don't have to be constrained to do a game where the world has to be static. And I'm able to iterate a lot faster.
And we call this new
Sorry.
system Lumen. We're about
Their
to show
eyes.
you what is.
I'm kind of getting pissed.
But first, there was
Because
another
it's obvious
area
that they're reading.
we thought we could push forward.
And
Truly virtualized
The
geometry.
place where they
The artist
put
wouldn't have
the
to be
the
concerned
cue
over poly
cards
counts,
are
draw
in the wrong
calls,
place.
or
It's
memory.
not a proper
Directly use
teleprompter.
Film quality assets and bring them straight into the engine.
And that's a
Epic
big
should hire
deal
you
for
guys.
us. I
Yeah,
just
look at his eyes. Look at his
stable
eyes.
photo. My photogrammetry scan
It's
He looks
under.
down.
without wasting any
Yeah.
time optimizing,
Irritating, I'm
correcting
sorry.
images, or even lowering the quality to make it hit frame rate.
In the end, that's what it's all about. Art that just works.
And I
We
really
call
wish
this new
Marco was
technology
here
Nanite.
just to
Here is the
to see
future
his
of
reaction to
Unreal
the Epic
Engine
Games
running live on
logo.
Oh,
Exactly.
he hasn't seen this?
Awesome. Let's take
No,
a
he
look.
No, he
has,
has, but he just hates
Yeah.
Epic.
Why?
Anyway,
Well,
wait, here.
I don't
look
know
at
anything
this.
about Epic, but it's really, really nice.
Please watch this. This is all
Um,
dynamic lighting.
Yes, and for context, this nothing is baked.
Before we continue, let's stop a moment and take a look at some of the key features of this demo.
Miguel,
Much
can
of
you
what
lower the
see was
volume a
built
bit
with
on
Quixel
the?
Megascan assets, but instead of
Me?
using the game
On the thing?
versions, we use the
Hang on.
cinematic
Yes, on
versions,
Miko.
which would
Mute
typically
Miko.
only be used in film. There are around 1 million triangles each, and thanks to virtual texturing,
That good?
they all use 8K textures as well.
Actually, just mute the whole thing.
Very quickly.
Mute it?
There are
All right.
over 1 billion triangles of source geometry.
Unless there's something you feel should be.
No, it's just that I didn't want to speak anymore. I just wanted to let him speak. Anyway,
But
Yes,
like
talk
this
about
is
it, kuya talaga.
there, look at it. So all of those little colors that you see, those are triangles. Little triangles.
Ah, I
Those are
know
little
it.
You watch this now, no? So
Yes.
those are all little triangles, and everything is processed in real time by the engine. Now, what hardware is being used behind the scenes, supposedly, is the PS5, which is what this what do you call this demo is all about. But
I like that part.
you see that? Yeah. You know
Where they
what?
shine the light.
Ken,
That's crazy.
Ken, isn't
Yeah.
that a demo of RTX?
no, not at all. This is an AMD powered thing.
I know, but
Uh,
what I mean by RTX is ray tracing. That is ray tracing.
It's their own it's sort of their own version of it. Their own what do you call it? Dynamic lighting, but like to the next level, where
Yes.
you don't have to tell each pixel, you don't have to tell each surface, each triangle who has to have the. You don't manually program where the light will go.
Yeah, it's
Which-
physics. It's based on physics.
It's physics.
where it's-
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say here is it's very similar to RTX. Anyway, here's my main
Yes.
point. Why has AMD kept quiet about this? I mean, AMD is not only in the PlayStation or the Xbox, right? They are also in the PC world where this is also important. So why so quiet? Do you think they were asked to keep quiet until this release? Because I'm sure that AMD would have wanted to say to Nvidia, hey guys, we have it too. And it's beautiful. Check this out. You know what I mean? Because Nvidia's that this is all that Nvidia's been harping about. Just think about it. The 1080 Ti, basically last gen Nvidia flagship, is the same speed as the 2080, which doesn't make the current gen such a good value. And the only reason why they say it's a good value is because there's ray tracing. So if I were AMD, I would have said, we have that too,
Look at those shadows.
right?
And when she
But they
dusts
didn't.
herself off, that's sorry.
No, Miko,
But-
this part is beautiful. This is the game engine.
This part is
There.
great.
You see that when she put her hand on the side of the door, the opening?
That was dynamic.
That was
That wasn't
dynamic. That was
programmed
part
in.
of the game. That wasn't a video. So every time there's something that would look more natural if she leaned on, or they programmed it to work that way. I hope it's not always the exact same way.
This is where when I watched it, it's as if I smelled the temple, or a cave-like smell.
Mold.
Going back to what you were saying, Miguel, though, like this is more. I feel like this is an engine demo. Yes, AMD is powering it, but it's coming from Unreal and Epic rather than Nvidia's reveal, which is from their side. Machine learning. We'll get all into that in the next topic, which is the juicy,
Yeah.
surprisingly the juicier news topic of the week over this, which is already like amazing. Also, AMD is a lot in sort of invested, or they have a lot involved with the next gen consoles, because both are AMD based. So I'm guessing if their partners are wanting to do anything when it comes to PS5 and Xbox, they'll probably say yes, because imagine the hundreds of millions of chips are going to sell from these two. So if they say jump, AMD's probably going to say like how high.
So are you saying that RX 5700 XT, is it RX? So the 5700 XT graphics cards, the 5600s, the 5500s are small. It's not enough for them to show off that, hey, we also have it. Because I feel like if they have this already, if they can do this, then they should have done it a while back with their current graphics cards. Well, hang on, sorry. Story-wise, I love this part. I really love this part.
And we sort of talked over that part where they had the statues in that last room. Each one of those statues had 16 million triangles.
Yep.
And any gamer worth their salt will remember the old days of when every game would go with the poly count. Remember like
Yes.
Crysis and Quake 3, like all the old school games, they always brag about the poly counts. And to have a quote unquote poly count of 16 million for one figure, just the old school gamer in me is like still mind blown just from the photos. It's
Okay,
like
hang on.
saying,
Hang on. So this one, that one statue has 16 million triangles. That one statue, okay?
and that's live rendered. That's
Live
not,
rendered.
yeah, it's insane.
And then all of a sudden, they do it this way. how many of that same statue is in the scene?
With
It
dynamic
is-
lighting.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
I have no clue how they do this. Anyway, yeah. Back to our
It is.
faces.
It is. It is absolutely insane, and that it's an impressive engine. As someone who's been playing Star Citizen, I think I felt like Star Citizen's been basically the most beautiful engine of recent times.
And
This
now,
is wild. Sorry.
and now, after seeing that,
Oh, that's crazy impressive.
so my question is, how long has it taken Star Citizen to get to that quality that you're currently enjoying?
The difference is though,
Ah,
Star
ah,
Citizen.
ah, 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 ah,
Oh, 8 years, and they've
8 years.
changed.
Okay.
Yeah, they went
So-
from CryEngine to Lumberyard of Amazon.
Yeah.
Lots of iterations.
My question now is, after that, my follow-up question is, how long do you think it would take developers to get to that point from now?
Using this engine.
Using this engine?
Not as long as that, for sure.
Maybe
Because
2 years?
to
Right? I mean,
make something of that
depending-
fidelity, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it would depend on how big the developer is, right?
Yeah,
If they can churn out a game in 2 years, I think it will look like this.
The difference-
The question is, I don't know if you recall, but I think sometime 2013 or 2014, Unreal Engine also showed off something like this, and it was really beautiful, even up to today's standards. But it took, I would think, about 5 or 6 years, which is about just now, for them to be able, for us to be able to see that in an actual game. You know, there's a big difference between a demo
Oh yeah, 100%.
and a real game, and sometimes demos like this would take like half a decade before you see it in a real game. What do you think of you think this is the same?
100%, 100%. It's always the tech demo is obviously going. Did I just burp there? They're gonna show the absolute highest potential that the game can the engine can achieve, and it's gonna take a while because basically you're handing the keys to the developers, the end users for this tech, and it's going to take a while for them to learn it. Number one, a new engine is not something you can just just get into from day one and churn out good content. It's going to take a while to study. It's going to take a while to see its strengths and weaknesses. Blah blah blah. So yeah, we're not going to see games that pretty right now. But the potential is there, and I am impressed with it, especially considering it's on a that was all done on the PS5. It's a shame that Marco is not able to join us because last night we were talking about this, and
I'm seeing him on YouTube, by the way. He's on the chat. He just said sorry, guys. Hey, Marco.
Hi, Marco.
Hey, Marco.
Wait, Iggy from Facebook is saying na baka may nagpe-play na video sa background. I don't know if it's, are you hearing an audio that's not supposed to be there? Not sure. Unless that was a while back. Just
No,
let us
not
know
right
if
now.
there are any audio issues.
Not right now.
Okay.
I'm not seeing anything else except our voices. Yeah. Okay.
Same here.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No,
Checking.
yeah. Thanks for
Yeah.
Please let us know if anything's wrong with the stream. But going back to the console side of this topic, I'm really happy. Like I'm a huge PC gamer, but like anything that helps the gaming community at large is fantastic to me. So if it keeps consoles relevant, okay, relevant's a bit of a cop out, but if it keeps them, if it improves gaming in general, I'm all for it. And that was a beautiful demo. If we're gonna see more console games of that fidelity in the future, I'm all for it. Maybe buy a PS5 or Xbox Series X. Who knows?
By the way, Ken, I read something a while ago, and it's from Reddit. So take this info with a grain of salt. Um, Basically, this guy from Reddit is saying, just because you saw that demo look that beautiful, it doesn't mean that your PC will be able to do it. And here's the thing:
Oh.
the PlayStation
no.
has a special SSD on it. Miko, SSD is basically, you remember the hard drives, the one that spins, where all your data goes to, right? So now we have SSDs on our PCs, but the
Okay.
SSD of the PlayStation 5 is different. Somehow the way
But it's more powerful.
the way it communicates with the CPU is more direct, something like that. I'm not 100% clear on it, but basically the way the CPU and the SSD communicate in the PlayStation 5 is faster, and that's the
Okay.
reason why it can do this. That's
Okay.
why the Xbox doesn't have a similar what do you call this, demo.
Okay, so
Unreal.
this one is exclusive to the PS5, at least
Yes.
for now.
Yes. So hopefully this technology will roll out to everything else, like PCs especially. But what in particular it is, I'm not yet clear on it. I have to read a little bit more before I say anything. Yeah. So there.
Yeah.
So,
So
Shall we
I
get
have
to
no
the
idea.
Shall we get to the heavy hitter news? The one that
Okay,
Marco's supposed to be in.
We only have 5 minutes for this topic, by the way.
Good luck
Oh!
to that.
Start talking.
Okay, Ken. Let's go.
So Nvidia had their big what is it called, GTC conference,
Yep.
like online con, Nvidia con, let's call it that, yesterday, and because of the pandemic, it became online, so nobody was there. But
In
it
fact,
was
wait,
actually
sorry. I'll just back it up a little bit. So this is Jensen, and he is, as you can see, in his kitchen,
yeah,
and this is his
very
demo.
very pandemic chic.
Yeah. So, guys, you're gonna have to look at this video directly from your own computers on YouTube, because there's no way we'll be able to show the quality that we're seeing. Basically, here's native 720p. And then from that, the AI is able to turn it into 16K. So a 720p actual render converted to 16K by NVIDIA's engine, DLSS engine. DLSS engine version 1 is what we currently have now on our computers, which is okay. It's doing okay. It's not doing the best. But DLSS version 2 is coming out, and oh my golly. Things that do not exist, for example, on a 720p native render. And when I say native, that's when you set your game to 720, or when you set it to 1080, then that's native.
Yeah, no
So-
machine learning, just
Yeah.
just normal render.
So for example, on a 1080 render, something that does not exist because of its size, because of machine learning with DLSS, it will show it. It knows that it's supposed to be there, so it will show it to you. It is really crazy. You're gonna have to look at it yourself on the YouTube video. On hang on, what's the
Wait, Miguel,
Nvidia's channel, yeah.
small correction. The 16K was not machine learned. Actually, it wasn't generated by the AI. That was rendered by their super servers, like their super
Okay,
like
okay.
big as, and so that served as the base, the
Baseline.
benchmark.
The baseline.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. That the machine learning, the AI that they built was, um, so basically they gave the AI, hey, so here's the 540p version of this image, and here's the 16K version of this image. Make it as close to the 16K version as you can. So that's what they were trying to get the AI to learn,
Oh, okay,
and
okay. I get it.
they
So
gave it like all the source information based on the 16K, and the AI kept learning to upscale the 540 to as close as possible to the 16K.
okay, okay. Hang on. I will try to re-explain it in a way that Miko would understand.
Really? But Ken just laughed.
I'm
Okay.
laughing because
This
my
is
coffee has
useless.
alcohol in it. I'm
Okay,
laughing
so-
for
I'm
other
zoning
things.
out.
So Miko, so for example, there's a one frame, right? There's one frame that's computer generated, and if you
Okay.
export a 16K, basically 16K is how many times more than your 4K TV in your living room, right? So a
Okay.
16K frame. So imagine all of the detail that would have, right?
Yeah.
Compared to remember what your old Nokia phones can do when you take photos. Remember how bad you could see the pixels
Yeah.
and all that. So imagine
Mm-hmm.
that, right? So and what they're trying to do is they're training the artificial intelligence. Nvidia's training their artificial intelligence to understand that if they receive a frame like this, which is the
The
old ugly
Nokia.
pixelated Nokia looking thing,
Yeah.
it
They'll
it
change it.
it should look like this, and it's giving the 16K version.
Super crisp, super awesome video
Oh,
or
So
okay.
what
photo.
it's doing is it's training the 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 computer, the AI,
Mm-hmm.
to understand that if I ask for a frame that looks like this, you should give me like this.
This. I got it.
Yeah. So that's how they're
Like
training the artificial intelligence. Yeah.
Okay.
exactly. And they've from the demo, from the keynote that we watched, it was friggin' impressive. It's basically, yeah, going back to your example, from a Nokia old ass 2004 photo to an iPhone 11 photo from
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
It was that great a leap, and that's just from the AI just doing some calculations and saying this is what that photo should look like, and then make that a video. This is what this game should look like. Every frame, 60 times a second. It's ridiculous. Like and going back, if you've been watching this whole show, we were talking about Unreal Engine and how what the difference is. So Unreal was making this really great software engine, but like Nvidia is teaching an AI to do all that on the CPU side, and
Yeah.
that's
Okay. Yeah. We were discussing last night. We were actually Marco, Ken, and I were actually watching this Nvidia presentation all at the same time. Uh, in fact, we had to do a 3, 2, 1, go. So we were all watching at the same time.
It couldn't have been
Uh,
like a watch party.
yeah. So and so we were all talking about this, and we were all saying that AMD, the way they're doing it with the Unreal Engine, basically has a ceiling to it because it's horsepower. It's raw power. What their graphics card can do, right? Versus what Nvidia showed last night. Nvidia is about artificial intelligence. It's learning. It's non-stop learning. if it's doing good today, it'll be doing better tomorrow. So there is no ceiling for that. And wow,
That's amazing.
Yep.
Nvidia is ahead, way ahead, because one day AMD is gonna hit the ceiling. All of a sudden, gonna have to play catch up, and that's bad. Whereas
To pull it back a little bit, they're not ahead right now.
yeah, but
Your
that's
point
the
is very valid.
trajectory. Yeah,
Exactly. Right now, I'd say they're equal at some point to an extent, but like what you said, unless AMD does something soon, in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they'll be gone. And I'm an AMD fanboy, and so they have to do something. Like, please, AMD, do something, because this is amazing tech, and if they don't do their own version of it or something different, and I do have faith in them. They've when the going gets tough and Nvidia does something crazy, they've always shown that they can sort of do something unexpected to catch up. So I'm
Oh, you're
hoping they'll
talking
do
about
something
AMD,
very
right?
interesting. AMD, yes.
You're talking about AMD on how they could catch up. Here's the
Yes.
problem. I don't think AMD is interested in catching up to this one. Miko,
Huh?
when you're on an online shopping thing, right? So for example, Amazon or even for example on Facebook, when you're on Facebook and all of a sudden the thing that you were talking to Don about maybe 2 hours ago
Yeah.
pops up on the ads of Facebook, right?
Yeah, it
Or
happens.
or in Amazon, when you're in Amazon, the things that you like is recommended, right?
Yeah.
Apparently Nvidia is working on this, and I don't think AMD would be interested.
Yeah.
So
Nvidia is like expanding beyond graphics. It's really machine learning, everything. Like they're helping
They're the ones
BMW
behind
with their
that?
factories.
no, they have a
No,
system right now that they announced, and it is crazy the amount of data that it can sort through, because CPUs, the central processing unit of a computer, is meant, in Marco's words, it's meant to do many things. So, and because of that, it gets bogged down because it's running the system and all that, right? And everything else that you want it to do. While the GPU, the graphics processing unit, is very specific. It'll only do what what it's specifically designed for. And apparently this is one that Nvidia added. So it's a system. It's a Ken, how would you say it? It's a whole, it's a server. It's hardware and software, right?
yeah,
Database, everything, and machine learning all together to understand each and every individual that data is fed to it, so that it would know what to recommend when you're shopping.
it's literally called the recommender, and it's designed to, again, what Miguel touched on is right now we already have that with you talk near your phone about quesadillas. Actually, I'll report on that if quesadillas suddenly show up on my feeds tomorrow. I miss quesadillas, but it's like trying to
Dude,
take
you're
that to
not
the next
supposed to talk
level.
about food at this hour. Everyone's gonna want one.
we're all gonna order. If I was still in the studio, we'd probably have quesadillas after the show. But
No, we can't,
For sure.
dude. We can't.
Oh, we can.
We can no
Oh.
longer order after 5.
That's true.
remember
It
the Wendy's
sucks,
days?
dude.
Oh,
Yep.
God. Anyways,
Yeah.
or if we're sober enough to actually go to what's that publishing area? Anyways, old school. No, recommender is Like personally, I am on the side of yes, yes, yes. Please, please, machine learning databases, servers. Please tell me what I want to see. But on the flip side, and I totally get this side, is people don't like the privacy issue of it all. Like I don't want people knowing what I want. So there's the
I
two sides.
I have given up on privacy. I really don't think that if you want this world to operate the way you see it in movies, yeah, there's just no room for privacy anymore. Even so, for example, even those times that you think you're private, like you're just browsing the internet, you're not even searching for anything stupid, or you're in some random website, you're getting some information for work or whatever, and then you go to their search thing and you type whatever you're searching for because it's research for work, right? All of a sudden anything related to what you just searched for just pops up. It it's no, I no longer think that privacy is possible in these days. It's gone. And I don't really mind, especially if people will start gifting me things that I actually like.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm definitely on the side of let's redefine privacy too. Like if a database somewhere tracks what I am interested in, let's just make it general like that, and it tailors what I see online, the ads, I'm all for it. Like it's not
Yeah.
somebody looking into my window and seeing what I'm doing in the privacy of my own home. It's literally like, oh, this guy is more into Nike than Adidas. Let's give him Nike ads. Actually,
Yep.
that's a weird thing because I like Adidas more. But it's impersonal. Sorry. Yeah, it's not some human being looking into my life.
So how about Ken? How about if, for example, you had a girlfriend, right, or a wife, and the system knows that she is your girlfriend or wife, and the system knows that she likes this, and the system also knows
Pottery.
that it's gonna
Let's give
be
it
her.
a specific thing.
Okay, pottery, and then the system knows that it's her birthday next week. So if the system tells you, "Hey Ken, you might want to buy this for her," how do you feel?
I would love that. And I think that would be something that I would actually buy into. Obviously, if it's a girlfriend or wife, I should probably know what she wants. But
Dude,
no,
you'd be surprised though. I've been married. I've been married for how long? Since 2003.
yeah,
There are
yeah.
things that I get shocked about, and I'm sure Kay gets shocked about as well about me. That, it's not us keeping secrets from each other. It's just that I won't bother her with this thing that I like. You know what I mean?
Taking it for granted that you know the person, bigla na lang they have a new
Yeah,
interest that you didn't know
exactly.
about. 100%.
Exactly.
Miko, here we go. Like let's toss it to Miko. Like, would you, let's say, pay a small fee for a service that would tell you what this person would actually, to a high degree of certainty, let's say 80%,
Mm-hmm.
that this person would like what this suggestion, would really like this suggested gift for a birthday, wedding, whatever it is. Would that be interesting to you?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because sometimes it's hard to give gifts to, for example, your dad or my husband, because, well, before, he can just fly anywhere and you can just get it. And
Yeah.
so maybe, well, I don't know, it's the same thing. He'll end up just telling me, no, it's okay. It's easier for me to get it. That's what he does. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, it would be
you
nice
guys,
because
you guys
um
know
yeah.
about yourselves, right? Let's talk about each other. do you have cheap things that you'd really want that you don't have? You know, certain cheap things that aren't crazy expensive, uh, that you
I,
like, that but you don't have.
Possibly. Or what those cheap things are more like if I see them, that's when I feel like, oh yeah, I would want something like that.
So can you
Those
imagine if
little
those
trinkets.
exactly? Can you imagine if a system knew those things about you? Little things that most people can afford. That Miko, you've gotten married as well. You had your
Oh,
list
so
of
it's
things that you
so
wanted, right?
so it's like a registration sort of,
Exactly.
but
It's
not.
yes. The difference between this and that is the registration is listed by you, right?
and for a specific time, like just for your
Yes,
wedding.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But can you imagine if there was a service that kept track of what you wanted, what you're what you're into? So okay, all of a sudden, this girl. Okay, I'm talking about my wife, right? This girl who's never exercised in her life is all of a sudden buying weights. She's buying shoes. She's buying, you know, a bike. She's buying. So now the system knows, hey, okay, she's into this.
I guess it really depends on how you see it. It's a good thing, but I can't help but think of it as still something creepy.
I knew it. I knew this all along, right, Ken? I was talking about Miko while we were watching yesterday, and it gets worse, Miko. It gets so much worse.
So
So,
yeah, going back to the core of this topic is Nvidia and their recommender system, which is basically machine learning AI tracking everything you do basically to hyper pinpoint what would be interesting to you in terms of ads, in terms of things. For example, Amazon would recommend when you go on their website. Um, so yeah, I think this is gonna raise a huge debate because
um,
privacy is definitely a huge
for
thing.
for the Americans out there who are watching, um, Walmart is part of this.
Yeah.
Mm.
So Nvidia, every screen, almost every tech thing that they'd show would have all their partners in that tech region, or a certain aspect of tech. All the partners were on the bottom, like the logos, and they are all the heavy hitters. Um, but moving on, because it's a huge topic, Nvidia's thing. What else is huge about Miguel? The
Okay,
You
data
have five more
centers.
minutes,
may
by the
I,
way.
Miko?
You have five more minutes.
Miko. This is previously close to home for you.
What?
Previously, and and very much home for many of your friends. Uh, and it's very controversial, especially for us Filipinos. Basically, there's a huge chance that because of what Nvidia is working on, the
Mm-hmm.
whole call center industry is gonna disappear because
Oh, why?
this server, this service can answer calls, can do basically what call centers need to do without the need for people. It's scary. In fact, last night we were arguing, well, no, discussing about whether or not we should talk about it. And I said, hey, it's not like we created this thing that's going to kill the jobs of hundreds of thousands of people,
Millions, maybe.
millions. We're just here
Millions
to
for sure.
discuss it. Yeah, we're just here to discuss it. And it's
I don't see
bad.
how they'll be able to do the stuff. I mean,
Okay, Miko, think about this. You know
like
how
what?
Apple advertised Siri as like
Yeah.
as if Siri was Jarvis.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Basically, this is Jarvis.
Like for
Mm,
real. Like it will search the entirety of the internet to contextually get you an answer that you need. Um,
And it won't, will it feel like I'm talking to a robot? You know how people are like, I don't want to talk to a recording. I don't want
Ba-
to
b-
talk to a robot.
based on the demo last night, I did not like the sound of the AI, the voice of the AI, but that is something that can easily be fixed because Google Assistant was recently able to fix that. Ken, how's Google Assistant for you? The sound, I mean, the way
uh,
it speaks to you, is it still robotic or is it closer to human?
closer-ish, but still definitely like, okay, I will make that alarm for you. It's
Yeah,
still like that, and not quite like.
human.
Actually, Siri's a little bit more human to me when I ask for Siri to do stuff. Um, but going back to the AI thing, uh, or the how human it sounds. Miko, for context, there was the video about this whole thing. So it was a voiceover female sounding voice talking about the whole thing and the future of AI and this call center thing and at the end of that, near the end of it, was like, even this voiceover narrator is an AI. And then I was like, whoa, that's cool. I thought it was an
Wait,
actual person.
didn't we report on that years ago? Like someone can actually,
Yes, we had a topic of the robocalls that sound a bit human.
yes, the one that's taking your like for example, you want an appointment. You're
Yes,
making an appointment to the dentist, and it really, and it sounds like you're talking to like a receptionist or a secretary taking
yes.
down your appointment. So it's
Was
similar
it
to that.
was it was it Google? Miguel, remember that? Who was that?
It
The human
Yes, it was
receptionist?
Google.
Yeah.
It was Google because I remember that's when Enrique and I said that Siri was overtaken by so much. And in fact, I remember. So, for example, you asked Google Assistant something, and then you had a related question after. You didn't have to mention it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So context.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there was context. Yeah.
But
Uh,
going back to this video, when that voiceover voice said, "This is actually also AI,"
Yeah.
what you're hearing, and then the music this whole time has also been made by AI, and the music was actually really really good, and
Oh.
yeah, so it's coming along like and very convincing, and they showcased also all these things about contextual um, responses with information drawn from the internet, and that's how you're saying like how will the call center sort of AI know what to say. It has even politeness built in, and
Yeah.
it is able to draw on the entirety of the internet. From what was shown, it looks convincing enough to be at least the basic level.
Here's a
Should I
sample.
bring an umbrella tomorrow?
It is not expected to rain in Santa Clara, California tomorrow afternoon.
What is the hottest city in the world?
The hottest city in the world is Mecca, in Saudi Arabia, where temperatures can reach 122 degrees Fahrenheit.
What is the coldest city?
The coldest city in the world is Yakutsk in Russia, with temperatures around minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit in the winter months.
Cute.
Tell me something about lightning.
We see lightning first, because light travels faster than sound.
How come you know so much about weather?
I know the weather information from the internet. I have lived for a long time and have been talking about the weather for as long as I know.
Where are you from, Misty?
I'm from a place called Omniverse.
Who made you?
I am created by the wonderful scientists of Nvidia.
What powers you?
I'm powered by Nvidia GPU and the CUDA neurons inside of them.
Thank you, Misty.
Thank you, it was a pleasure talking to you.
As you could see,
Okay.
Sounds a bit robotic.
It is very robotic.
Yeah.
It's still
For sure.
robotic.
But the big takeaway is how that was all live. The questions weren't supposedly the questions weren't pre-recorded. So it's like you ask a question, it gets the answer real time. It's not like processing. Give me a moment. Oh, so this is the answer. No, it was like it's very real time. You ask a question, it gives you the answer.
Okay, now what scares
Can-
me is not
hang on,
everything
can-
in the internet is
Ken Miko,
factual.
what does Siri say? I am not connected to the internet right now. Something like that. That's so.
I've never
That's so
gotten that.
irritating. Anyway, yeah, well, yeah, Miko. So the way this works is, it doesn't just get information from one source. It scours all its possible sources and gets, I suppose,
But how does
the average.
okay? But how does it know if the source or the sources that she's getting from are legit?
I'm sure it learns.
That's where the AI learning comes in. Like it's not gonna pick the first result. How do we explain it? The video.
Can do you remember? Can do
Yeah.
you remember how much info that it can chew on? It was all numbers, Miko. It was crazy.
Yeah.
The numbers were all crazy.
Okay.
It was something like they were. I don't remember if this was the terabyte part or the petabyte part, but it was a crazy number that was unbelievable. Yeah, there was so much that was discussed that we felt wasn't for the show. It was too heavy. It was too technical. So we decided not to talk about
Include
it.
it.
Yeah, but the three of us had some discussion about that.
We probably should move on from that subtopic of this topic, because there's still another big thing about that was talked about was their Ampere, Nvidia's new GPU, basically, which is their industrial sort of quality GPU.
Okay. Let me try to explain. Okay, Ampere, Miko, is like the brand of the current generation of the graphics card that they have. The name of the GPU, the graphics
Okay.
processing unit that they have. So currently it's, what is it now? It's V,
Volta?
right? V. It's Volta. So Volta, and
Is
then
it?
now it's I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it is. But so the 2080s, the 2080 Ti's, so those are what it is. So last night what was talked about is Ampere, but every launch, what is launched first are the server grade versions of them, which means they're not available to people like you and I, because
Okay.
they're not our bank accounts won't really make it. So in fact, they were saying that you would save so much money if you get this new one versus last generation, because last generation was it 8 million? Ken? Was it 8 million? Was it 8? It was $8 million per.
Oh, no, the server thing from Dell.
Yeah, which is based on their previous gen.
It was $1 million per thing.
Isn't that
wasn't
the
it?
new
And
one?
then, but their thing, Nvidia's new server is like 2 million, but 10 times the performance. So double the cost, but like 10 times the performance.
Hang
Some
on.
shit.
It's the previous generation is the current generation is touring. Marco, thank you. Marco, dapat nandito ka eh. Yeah, so
Okay,
it's
5 minutes
it's
na lang,
touring.
guys. 5 minutes.
Kanina pa yung 5 minutes ang saya.
I
Hindi
know.
magalaw yung time.
Eto,
Longest
seryoso,
5 minutes.
5 minutes na talaga to.
Okay.
Bababay na ako.
By the way, guys, the reason why Miko's in a hurry to leave is because it's her anniversary. Happy anniversary, Miko.
Thank you.
Or-
Okay. Okay. So yeah, what else? What else, Ken, should we talk about?
just for me, the future might be more focus on data, or an exciting future possibility for me would be when Nvidia rolls out all these data centers, mainframes that can chew and process all this very complex graphics and information, and then stream that to the end user, which is basically cloud gaming, which I will get into more next week because I'm actually gonna dip my toes into it. But I feel like it's gonna move away from every single household having to have their own GPU, and I would actually, latency problems aside, I would prefer to pay a rental for a slice of a mainframe, like a big ass computer somewhere else, to process the graphics for me and just stream it to my screen.
Okay. I totally understand what you're talking about, but I think Miko is a little bit confused. Let's give her some context. So yeah, that laugh is very familiar to me. Miko, imagine your computer at home is basically a screen.
Okay.
It's a TV screen. That's it. Your computer does not have that box beside it that has all those the graphics card, the CPU, the motherboard,
So it's like
memory.
a Mac,
It's just a monitor.
like an
No,
I'm
no, Miko. As in your TV, the TV that's right in your living room. That's it, basically. But how does it know what to show, right?
yeah.
There's a server, there's a central server somewhere out there that sends the data.
Somewhere out there.
Yes.
Far away.
Far away.
Do we know where it is? Because I can already hear Marco saying nope, 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 nope.
So it's basically, Ken, it's the equalizer, right?
Yeah.
If you think about it, it's the equalizer. It doesn't matter how much money you have. I guess the only thing that will change things depending on your budget would be the size of the monitor. That's it.
And the quality of your internet.
Yeah, and the quality of your internet. But so let's just say the internet is equal, and you basically get the same gaming performance, regardless of your how much money you're willing to spend. Because so for example, Miko, Spotify, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter if you're richer or poorer. The sound of Spotify on my end is the same as the sound of Spotify on your end. Of course, speakers might change things. It will change things. If I have expensive speakers and an expensive amplifier and all that, then maybe I'll get better sound. But point is, the data sent to us is the same,
Okay.
and we're paying the same amount because there's. You think, Ken, there's gonna be a different tier, like a higher
100
tier?
100%. They're gonna have to do something to make money, right? Um,
4K, like for
because
example, one is a
yeah,
4K.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
stream based, yeah, like quality based. Because again, Mika, think about this. Like right now, Nvidia sells graphics cards to every person, and every person wants to buy it because they put it in their PC at home, and then it makes them
It's actually
play games better.
it's
Mm-hmm.
it's normally the most expensive thing you're gonna put in your
Yeah.
computer.
But
So-
now,
Mhm.
what's going to happen is, or I think what's going to happen in, let's say, 5-10 years, is Nvidia will have will have these big data centers, or they'll sell products to these big data centers, servers somewhere far away in the wherever next country over, and then you'll just rent a slice of that, and then so basically your PC is going to be somewhere far away, not in your house. if that makes sense.
So what's the security or
Well, that's also another issue.
That's a
because
sacrifice.
your
that's the
your data's like
sacrifice.
not in your house.
that's
But
a big sacrifice, isn't
Miko,
it?
hang on. Yes, it is a big sacrifice, but think about it this way. Where's your security when you're on Facebook?
or
Or would you
when you're on the
rather
phone.
have or would you rather have a Facebook that was paid?
Okay, so it's the same. Like whatever privacy thing we're getting from, I don't know, the apps that we use, that's as much as security you're gonna get.
Yes.
Or think about it this way, Miko. Like when you're on the phone, your voice is already going through, the ether. Like it's not literally a string from you to who you're talking to.
Final Fantasy.
So it's not. So there's really no difference. That's what you guys are saying. Whatever we're
Yes.
doing now,
It's just
it's pretty
more
much
of it.
this.
Yeah. And
more of
and
it is more.
So, Nico,
but
look, so what Ken is talking about right now is gaming, right? And
Yeah.
in terms of gaming, if
Is
privacy
it just gaming? Is this specifically
No.
like the servers that we're talking about for gaming,
No.
or it's for everything that you
It-
do with
I-
your computer?
I believe this is for everything. So basically, like Wally. Remember Wally? Everyone was sitting on that thing that had tracks or wheels, so it would drive to wherever it needed to go in that big spaceship, and everyone was just sitting down on their chairs with a thing attached to their faces, and they were
Yes,
just
yes.
yeah. So I think we're on the way to that, and it may sound like a stupid thought right now, but one day
It's
we're
actually
all gonna look at this and say, "Oh shit,
it's
that's
scary.
really yeah, it is scary." But like for example, the whole recommending what to buy. For example, for Marco's very difficult to give a gift to, right?
Yes.
I think he's very difficult. He's one of the examples. He's one of the best examples I would have. It's very difficult to get him a gift because if he wants something, he buys it.
Yeah.
But imagine
It's
a computer that can tell you, "Hey, Marco likes this," and it doesn't
Will the
cost
computer
so
tell
much.
you? Will the computer
Marco-
tell you if he already bought it?
Marco just
Probably.
wants a bottle of double black and a hug.
There you go.
I
That's all you
can
need
give
to
the
know.
hugs.
So
I can totally give the
Ken,
hugs.
Ken would be a great server.
Libre.
So imagine if the PC could, AI could tell you that. That's a
Yeah.
bit very personal, but yeah, it's more contextual in that way. Like he doesn't need a video card; he already has it, and
Yeah, because I know,
Things
I
like
know, I know stuff that Marco wants. The problem is I don't know what Marco wants that he doesn't have,
Yeah.
and that's something more important. Because if you're gonna give me something expensive that I already have, then that's a waste of money. Right?
Why can't we just? Well, yeah, I guess.
wait. Also, we're really digging very deep into Nvidia
This
stuff.
is the end, by the way. This is
yeah.
it.
Just very close
is
to the end of Nvidia's thing is
No, meaning
They
you're
released
gonna say
Ampere.
bye.
no, we have picks of the week pa.
Wala na yan, no? Pang
Yeah,
next week na yan.
Marco just sent a message. Hello, wish lists. Actually, I think
Oy, Ken,
Marco's
wala
talking
nang
about
picks of
what
the
I was
week. I
saying.
swear. Next
I think-
week na yan.
But I think Marco's talking about what I was talking about. The recommender.
Yeah.
So he's saying that there are wish lists. But you see, Marco, I understand what you're saying. But like for example, me, when I have a wish list, I don't put the $5 things there. I don't put the $2.50 there. When I-
Because there are things nga that you don't even know that you like until
yeah,
it's right in front of you.
And not only that, I wouldn't list down things that I can easily buy. You know what I mean? So if you don't list down things that you can easily buy because they're affordable, but someone gives it to you anyway, that's kind of cool, don't you think?
Eh.
Ken, would you list down things that you can easily afford, as in
No,
something you can buy, right?
if I needed like right now on Amazon here, I have a whisker and a silicon spoon en route,
Aw.
and I wouldn't put that on my wish list for the public to see because I'm like, yeah, that's a $5 object I can get in 3 days. I'm gonna buy it myself. So yeah,
Same
there's a
thing.
wish list of things
But
I
Mike,
would sort of want people to buy for me, and also
but
things I can just buy already.
but if someone did give you that, would you appreciate it?
Oh, 100%.
There you
100%.
go.
And
So
and
I
and there's also what Mika said earlier. Like, do people will the AI tell you if he's already got it or she has
yeah.
already got
Yeah.
that thing?
That's my
So you don't.
concern. Because what if suddenly, Ken, in 3 days, you're going to get like 5 of those? Because all your friends are like, aha, you want a spatula. You're going to get it.
Then I guess
So
I'm gonna become a spatula reseller.
so Marco just sent a message. He said he populates his wish list with so many things. So people, check out Marco's wish list.
It's public on Amazon.
Yeah.
And there we have it.
No,
Wait.
Great
really,
show.
like literally 1 minute pick of the week. GTA 5 is free on Epic Games until May 21. It's a 7-year-old game, but it's
And
still very popular.
and the Epic Game Store, Marco's favorite store ever in forever, was down last night when they launched this
Because of this. Yeah.
everybody was trying to get it.
And this is crazy because GTA 5 is a 7-year-old game, and there's still the demand is high enough that it brought the
And
servers down.
and not only that, I have it on Steam, but I got it anyway. You know why? Because
Why?
this version is complete. It
Ah,
has all the DLCs.
I didn't even know that. So that's a good tip
Yep.
from Miguel. If you want the ultimate GTA 5 experience, it's free on Epic Games right now until May 21. So get on that. I think the servers have recovered as of
They
now.
have, they have.
Also on that, there's 50% off on a bunch of games: Red Dead Redemption 2, The Outer Worlds, Control, all 50% off on Epic Game Store. Which
And those are all AAA games, Miko. Since you were asking earlier.
Okay.
big ass games, yeah. So I don't know. I know Marco hates Epic Games, and lots of people do, but that is a pretty sweet deal at the moment. So have a look at that. Also, just a
Hang on.
preview of my-
Marco is saying, hey, he has trivial things in his Amazon wish list, like the Shure SM7B mic. Marco, I don't even have one. I would
That
love to
doesn't
have
sound
one.
trivial.
that sounds like it's $200
Yeah.
or more.
More. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, Ken. What were you saying?
Just a preview. Yeah, next week, I'll be talking about cloud gaming. As it's not really a pick of the week, but yeah, it's there's Shadow PC, there's Stadia from Google. So tune in next week for that because I'll be talking about what
I
the
think-
potential future will be.
I think that's super exciting. I think cloud gaming, if it works well, would be really great because then you wouldn't have to spend so much on your own computer. You know, so instead of spending so much on a build, you can then
You'll
put it
spend more
on
on subscription.
content. Yeah, content. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like basically like Spotify.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which remember last week I was talking about subscriptions. Like now everything is a subscription. This might be the next thing. I would rather have Nvidia or whoever, AMD, when they do their own thing, have these giant, awesome, massive machines, and all I do is pay them a bit of money and stream the performance to my home. I think that's better than having my own, like, rig at home, which I spend thousands of dollars on. And but if somebody else can do it for better and cheaper, I'm all for it. So that's what we'll talk about next week, from my end at least.
Okay. So Miko, what
Bye, guys.
Huh? What
where's the
kind of a
outro?
goodbye is that?
What do you mean? Oh,
That's
is
not
it
how it
Nina ba?
works.
Ken does that. Okay.
Let me scroll to where the outro is. Like, I'm always caught off guard when it comes to this. Outro. Follow us, please, everybody, if you enjoyed the show. We'll be back next week, and every week, seems like, which is a fun idea, but PHTech Official on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, and Instagram. All the social media that you like. Are we going to do a Snapchat? Guys, where are we on Snapchat?
Depends.
are?
Are you gonna make Snapchat interesting?
I feel like it should be Marco who does the Snapchat and his facial hair odyssey. Like, not even tech related, just PHTech Official on Snapchat. It's coming up. Follow that. But yeah, PHTech Official on all your favorite social media. Join us. YouTube, we're there, which we're also simulcast. Nux. What a word.
Did our bug come out again?
Hang on. Can I make it work again? Okay, say it again. Oh, what happened? We all disappeared.
Smash
There
that
you
like button.
go.
Hit the
PHTech
bell.
Official for Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
All
And
right.
see you guys again next week.
All
Good night,
right.
everyone.
Bye,
Happy
guys.
weekend.
Bye. Bye.
The thing. Miguel.
Wait.